Hi, I'm Dr. Rachel Storm. I'm the curator of business and industry at History Colorado. That's the state history museums that tell the stories of all the people who live in Colorado. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, and that is the history of farming and plants in the state of Colorado. The plant in particular that we're going to talk about today is the chili pepper. First of all, let's start off with how old the chili pepper is. Now, I bet a lot of you listening are 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or 13 or 14 years old, but the chili pepper is 9,000 years old. There were people living in Oaxaca, Mexico, and they were eating chili peppers in their food. Now, you may say, how does Dr. Storm know that? Well, we found pepper mummies in storage containers in a cave nearby where they lived. These pepper mummies tell us that they were eating peppers 9,000 years ago. It's pretty old for a chili pepper. So about 6,000 years ago, they decided to try growing them in their gardens instead of going out into the jungle to find them. And they ended up making the chili peppers grow in their gardens. And they grew about 5 different kinds of chili peppers. And in fact, chilies were so special to them that they gave them to each other as presents. Now, moving up a little bit in time, the Aztec people praised chili peppers for their spiciness. And they saw that spiciness as pain. And they thought that that pain was a gift from their gods. In fact, the Aztec god of fire and creativity, Xiuhtecuhtli, was known for loving chili peppers. They also put chili peppers in their hot chocolate to make it spicy. Have you ever had that? If you haven't, would you try it? Another thing they used chili peppers for was medicine. They would use chili peppers when they had a cough or a sore throat by eating them. If they had a tooth that hurt, they would put a couple of drops of chili pepper juice on the tooth to make the pain go away. Now, I don't know if they actually made the pain go away or if they gave themselves a different kind of pain to focus on. But either way, they didn't feel the tooth pain anymore. Sometimes, if they hurt their ankle or their arm, they would chop up chili peppers until they were like mashed potatoes, and then they would put that on their hurt part until it felt better. When Aztec kids were naughty, their moms and dads would sometimes hold them over smoking chili for a second or two as a punishment, which made them cry and cough. Now, it's a good thing we don't do that anymore because that can be dangerous. This is because chilies have a chemical in them called capsaicin. And capsaicin is the chili pepper's bodyguard. It is there to protect the chili pepper from being eaten. Some chili peppers have a lot of capsaicin, which makes them way more spicy. And some chili peppers have less capsaicin, which makes them less spicy. Now, that spiciness appealed to the explorer Christopher Columbus when he arrived in the Americas. He tasted them and thought they were so unusual that when he returned to Europe, he brought chili peppers with him to give as gifts to the king and queen he worked for. Now, that king and queen liked to send people out to explore, and as they did so, the explorers took chili peppers with them, and soon the chili pepper spread all over the world. Now, back here in Central and South America, indigenous people traded chili peppers to each other. When the Toltec people of Mexico traded with the Pueblo people of what is now the state of New Mexico, the chili pepper made its way to our area. Where did our chili that we eat today come from? Well, that chili pepper started its journey about 100 years ago, when Latino scientist Fabian Garcia began to work at a university in New Mexico. The problem was, about 100 years ago, is that chili peppers tasted pretty good, but they weren't all the same size and shape, which makes it hard for farmers to grow. So Fabian wanted to grow a chili pepper that would be the same size and shape and still taste good, that farmers could grow for people to buy. He experimented until he finally found one that not only tasted good, but would be about the same size and shape every time it grew. He called this chili pepper the New Mexico number 9, because he was in New Mexico when he grew it. A variety of the number 9 was what came to Colorado to be tested by Dr. Mike Bartolo. He grew and grew and grew until he found one that he thought tasted just right. And eventually, that one that he found that's just right became our favorite Colorado chili pepper, the Pueblo chili. Now, here at History Colorado, we love the Pueblo chili, especially celebrating it with festivals and parties. Chili peppers remind us of the smell of roasting chilies at the farmer's market, making homemade rotel with tomatoes and diced green chilies, and of family celebrations and traditions. Here at History Colorado, we have a few things in the collection that show that. We have a poster from the Chili Harvest Festival in 1997. We have a cap that someone donated to us that came from another harvest festival. And we have a jar of chilies from 1960 that were sold in the grocery store for people to buy if they didn't can their own at home. I hope that you have enjoyed this history of the chili pepper. And we would love for you to come visit us at History Colorado. We have places all over the state, so there should be one near you. We have the History Colorado Center and the Center for Colorado Women's History in Denver. We have the El Pueblo History Museum in Pueblo, the Fort Garland Museum and Cultural Center in Fort Garland, the Healy House Museum and Dexter Cabin in Leadville, the Trinidad History Museum in Trinidad, and the Ute Indian Museum in Montrose. We also want you to know that 4th graders get a free family membership as part of our History Buffs program for the entire year that they're in 4th grade. So we hope that you and your family will come see us soon. Thank you so much. Goodbye.